thing I want to ask you about mindset, because I believe Muslims sometimes have a very pessimistic mindset, have a very downtrodden mindset. They're unconfident in the way that they're talking about Islam. They're worried about certain things. Even the way that they project themselves, it doesn't project power or izzah or strength or honor. A lot of it comes from the perspective of responding to people, and only when they're forced to. So what lessons can we learn in terms of confidence from what happened in Syria?
The point is never to give up. And it's so very cliche to say that, never to give up. Everyone has a breaking point. There's a point where everyone has to give up. You know, if you put someone in the hellfire, we won't be able to handle it for 1 second. But the point I'm making is that we as Muslims must never give up as our civilizational aspiration. You know, nowadays, look, there are different civilizations in the world that are trying to do what they're trying to become superpower. It's called a spade. You've got the Westerns, you've got the Russians, they're all doing it, and the Chinese, they're all doing it in their own way. We were never, the Muslim people, 56 Muslim majority countries and almost 2 billion people in the world, we are never meant to be followers. We were meant to be in this race. And at the moment, we're not acting like that, individually or collectively. We were meant to have a place. We've always been in this race for 1,400 years. The last 100 years is the only time in our history we're not been in this race. At least one of the superpowers. That we were respected as such. Like, right now we're fragmented and we're weak. But the only way we're going to get back to that, number one, is tawakkul. Because I truly believe if someone has true tawakkul, okay, it gives them a kind of courage that they can do anything.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, true courage comes from tawakkul. And I mean this, wallahi, I do not think there can ever be an atheist as courageous as a true believer.
Yeah, impossible.
Because of what, akhi, think about it. Robert Greene mentions, the one who is, because you mentioned, you read a lot of those books, is that the one who's willing to commit suicide has the initiative. Yeah, so the one who's willing to take it the furthest, playing chicken, that guy's gonna win. In that, the chicken, the game with the cars. Likewise, who can go further than Abu Bakr Siddiq? Who was willing to go further? Akhi, he took an army, and interestingly, he went into Sham. Interestingly, he took an army and went against the Roman Empire. Everyone was telling him, "What are you doing? You're crazy. You're gonna get yourself killed, and you're gonna get the people killed, and you put the 18-year-old as a general. What are you doing here?" He's like, "No, but the Prophet ﷺ said that if he didn't take that step, okay, if the Sahaba didn't take that step, the Rashidun, we wouldn't be here today."
It's so interesting you say that, because when it comes to the Romans and the Persians, they were battering each other, and the Muslims declared war on both of them. There was a battle in which they joined forces, the Battle of Firaz, and they came to fight the Muslims and lost.
If we had the Muslims of today, we transported them into a time machine into that time, with their mindset, the sedentary lifestyle and TikTok Muslims and Twitter Muslims and Netflix Muslims. If we brought them and we transported them back, would we ever have the expansion of Islam? We wouldn't. These people had a special mindset, and we've got to ask ourselves why they had that mindset. They had that mindset for spiritual reasons, nothing else. The spirituality, which is this idea that tawakkul means trust in God. I am going to have trust in God. If I die, I die as qadar Allah. This kind of attitude. But if you take that, you can do everything in life. It's so liberating. Well, when you have the attitude of tawakkul, is the ultimate liberator. There's nothing more liberating in the world. There's nothing. No drug, no woman, no money that is more liberating in the world and uninhibiting than tawakkul. It's because when you rely upon the immortal, you come closest to having immortality. Even though you're immortal. But you are, as a mortal, the closest to having immortality when you rely upon the immortal one.
Absolutely.
When you rely upon mortals, you become more weak and more dependent. So the thing about tawakkul is that you'll be surprised if you just say to yourself, okay, I'm not saying don't prepare. Prepare. وَلَوْ أَرَادُوا الْخُرُوجِ لَعَادُوا لَهُ عُدَّةً. As the Quran says, that if they really wanted to go out and fight, they would have prepared for it. Akhi, do you see that, let's be honest, the state of Muslim men in particular, because if there's going to be a change, it has to be through Muslim men in particular. If we look at the state of Muslim men around the world and how they are, like in some parts of the Arab world and stuff like that, smoking shisha and playing backgammons and all that, this is what they do. Sorry to say, I'm not going to mention the countries, but that's what they do, akhi. Apart from the war-torn countries, if you want to see what Arabs look like in the evenings, that's how they are. These guys are gonna create the nasr for us and the victories and all this kind of stuff and go back to being a superpower. No chance. War is a blessing sometimes. I'm sorry to say, because what war does is it strengthens the mind. It brings the best out of the person.
Well, interesting. So, from a sociological perspective, the increase in technology always is correlated to warfare. So, even with World War II, the competition between the Nazis and the West, that amplified rockets and radars and all these types of things. So, it brings out the.
But the main thing that you talk about mindset, I think that if the Muslim man now has the mindset of tawakkul, everything's gonna get fine for him. His family's gonna be fine. He's not gonna really fear anything.
Yeah.
His family's going to be fine. His country's going to be protected. His people are going to be protected. He's going to take way more risks in life. I'm not saying take uncalculated risks, but he's going to do that, and it's going to start with business, and it's going to go to this and go to that, and that person's going to feel so liberated. It's a liberating feeling, akhi.
Ali, last word on mindset. What do you think?
I'll be honest, I'm agree with you.
So, for us, the way to conclude this is a dua for the Syrians. We wish them the best. We wish for them to have their beloved country as a country of peace, as a country where there's security, as a country where there's healing. Because, you know, when you see like the videos of the prison. Like, and you know, one thing that really
one
hit
person
me,
was dead in the chair like that. Did you see that one? There was a person on the bed. They were just like that, dead. Actually, it was not attended to. That person was in prison. And he was just on the bed like that. Like so they left him to die in the prison. Actually.
Some people that were coming out, they didn't even know what was going on. Like literally, there's stories coming out of people who don't know what is going on outside. They think Saddam's attacked. Like it's all crazy like that. That in their head,
for so long.
Some people apparently they
Saddam
believe.
died when did he die?
But
he died before.
Some people believe Hafiz al-Assad was in power.
Maybe,
Some people believe the previous guy was in power. Some people have lost their mind.
Really,
They lost their mind in terms of how they are.
I heard there's
But
kids born in there that they don't
there's
even know
children.
trees, but they don't know what to be.
But you know,
Oh my
families reuniting.
Yeah,
Those
that was
videos,
amazing,
people who have not seen each
Have you
other in
seen
over
those?
a decade.
Yeah, I saw one that she thought her brother died, and she's like, "No, your brother's alive."
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
We can't look at that stuff and then some guy gaslights us and says, "Oh, you know what? All of it was ISIS." Come on, get the hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here, bro. All these people are lying, then, yeah.
Yeah. And we've seen also, you know, you strike the grass to see where the snakes are. We've seen that, you know, those people who claim to be pro-Palestine, and then they're pro-Assad. Those have been, you know, you can't.
How the hell do you?
You can't keep a consistent moral standard like that. You can't. And in fact, this has been a good furqan. It's been a good.
Sunnis have been very. I have to give credit to Sunnis because they've been very consistent. Look at how, if you ask a Sunni now, what do you think of ISIS? The first thing is they condemn. No problem. Go and ask. Sorry to say, an average person. I'm not saying all Shias, but some Shias who are loyal to Iran. Go and ask them. The ones who are loyal to Iran. Oh, who is at fault? Oh, ISIS. What about Assad? No, he's an ally. Some of them are like that, akhi. I'm sorry to say, it becomes too tribalistic at that point. Why are we have to disavow every single group who's done every single crime as Sunni Muslims?
And we actually do.
Everybody else, no. They're guys, whether it's Putin or whether it's the Chinese or whether it's Assad, now they're going to keep giving them excuses until the day of judgment.
So what's the difference between you and Israel?
The Quran says, "Kunu qawamina lillahi shuhada bil qist wa ala anfusikum wa walidayn al-aqrabin." Be upright, standing with justice, even if it's against yourself or your parents. Or وَإِذَا قُلْتُ فَعَدِلُوا أَنْ كَانَ ذَا قُرْبَى. If you speak the truth, and if there's someone close to you. Come on, man. This ain't justice. When you're seeing all these people die and you're saying, "Oh, these people are all absolved." They're not absolved. All of them are guilty, actually. All of these parties, whether it's ISIS or Jabhatul Nusra who done that thing, or whatever other Sunni group you want to bring, no problem. We will disavow. But don't tell me we're going to do that and you're going to say, "No, but Assad is a great guy."
Okay, so this is an important point. Because when we were in Bosnia, you remember we saw the churches that were protected by Muslims. The online narrative is Christians are going to be under attack now because there's a new... All this nonsense is being spread. Like, how do we allay those concerns?
I've released a video today addressing Candace Owens. She was like, there's going to be a mass slaughter of Christians. And
No, it's not.
I was like, what are you talking about? The Christians, there was some. I heard there's some Christian militias who joined the group to rebel against Assad, and not only that, there were Christians outside the
Jews as
church.
well.
Yeah, they were celebrating, and people are coming out clearly, and there was even Christians in the comments saying, "What the hell are you talking about? We're in Syria, we're Christians." It's like, and not even that. Forget that. Even in history, there were so many people that I quoted who lived under Islamic rule, who were protected, and the Prophet ﷺ made it clear that Dhimmi, who's under the protection of the state, if anybody harms them, they will not smell the fragrance of Jannah. So to us, the matter's clear. I don't know what she's on about, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, it's, I mean...
I'm sorry to say, if we're going to really go down that route, let's talk about not secular regimes. Let's talk about Christian regimes and how they dealt with Muslims.
Yeah, exactly.
Not secular regimes.
Yes.
The West is a secular nation,
Yeah.
it's a liberal. Let's talk about the Crusades.
Yeah, well,
What happened when they came in the first time round? And Tom Asbridge, who wrote that book about the Crusades, he mentions, and any secondary source material will tell you that, that some say that the blood reached the knees of the people from all the innocents that were killed by the Crusades.
When we were in Bosnia,
In the Inquisition, in Spain. Let's look at the Christian history.
Yeah, they slaughtered Christians that they saw as heretical, the Bogomili. They were a sect in Bosnia. They were getting slaughtered by the Orthodox, they were getting attacked by the Orthodox and the Catholics. So what do they go to show you?
Yeah, exactly.
Islam has a consistent moral standard, even
Yes.
to the point that people look. Let's be completely brutally honest here.
Yeah.
If Jerusalem and all of that area is completely liberated, the synagogues will be safe, the churches will be safe, Orthodox, Eastern, whatever it is, and we will not stop anybody from worshipping or doing what they're doing. Because Islam has never stopped.
never
It's been like that
never
from the
had it.
get-go, bro. The treaty...
If they stopped, they would have broken them down already.
Yeah, exactly. You won't have Coptic
We had them
Christians,
all these
millions
years.
in Egypt, millions of Coptic Christians.
Yeah, well, we've got 10 million.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
By the way, where the Coptic Christians are, some people think they're just in Cairo. They're not in Cairo, bro. They're in the Qura, the villages,
Yeah.
the Sa'id, the Upper Egypt. So you've got places in Upper Egypt, the Sa'id, like proper fully Christian villages. Everyone accepts them and respects them. Simple as that. So it's not, these people have been allowed to live, and it's been their land for all these years, and the institutions have been. You can't deny that fact. Look at Spain. Compare Egypt with Spain.
Yeah.
Where the Muslims who are from the Islamic rule, 1492 when they were kicked out, and then where are they now? Where are the institutions? Go to Spain. Go to Portugal. Let's go to Spain. Let's go to Portugal, and let's pick out how many mosques there are. They've all been destroyed or converted into churches. Compare that with Egypt, for example.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? So no, don't pretend that the minorities have been safe in one place and they've not been in another.
No. And despite all of the challenges that the Muslims have faced in the past, and what they faced in the 20th century in terms of the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, or today the collapse of this atheistic secular regime which was oppressing Muslims, which we didn't think in our lifetime was going to happen, what does it go to show you? The power of dua, the power of tawakkul, and the power ultimately that we have to keep in mind at the forefront of our minds, that Islam is to prevail, is not to be prevailed over.
And just quick last one, it happened 2 weeks ago they started advancing.
I think so.
Oh,
Something.
3 weeks ago. It's unbelievable. But if you think it's like a miracle, when Allah wills
just
something,
felt like dominoes,
bro.
bro.
2 to 3 weeks.
House of cards just
I
dropped.
was just hearing, liberated. I'm thinking, bro, is this a joke? Like liberated. It's liberation. It's not that, bro. You're liberated in cities, bro. Just one after another, and it
in
shows
2 weeks
you.
we couldn't
it
do
just-
it.
same with-
Same with Afghanistan. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's like when Allah wills something, bro. Kun fayakun, it just happened, bro. Oof.
Absolutely.
But it's all changing now. Look at the world. The face of the Muslim world is
Yeah.
changing. Really.
And you know what I found strange about this Syria revolution is that the West, who say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, would have been like, oh, these people, they're terrorists, they're this or that.
Yeah.
Even they are kind of like Trump was saying, I don't care, you guys do whatever the hell you
Yeah,
want.
exactly. And
They're
not only
just
that,
tired of it.
They're taking Jolani, what's his name?
Jolani.
They're trying to take. They're going to be taking him off the terrorist list.
They said
They're
BBC
planning,
something about deproscribing them.
Yeah.
It's all about interest for them. They don't give a
It's
damn.
our interest.
They are not morally consistent,
Strategically
Exactly.
consistent,
Who
yeah.
said that?
Monbois.
Mamboa, yes.
But the difference with Islam is we have our morals, we have our set things, we
Yeah.
don't just have interests.
Exactly.
We would do things against our interests if it's the right thing to do.
That's what you should do. I mean, a lot of Muslims don't act like that, but certainly, like as I say, that's how we should act.
Yes.
And we expect people to act like that as well, because that's the standard we hold ourselves to. We expect other people to be held to that same standard, bro.
The last thing I'd just like to end upon is that when certain things happen in our lifetimes, we just don't think of it as significant. If you were in the Battle of Talas in the 8th century, you would know okay, this is a huge battle, but that's it. But you wouldn't know centuries later. They'll be talking about, same with Ain Jalut, same with what happened in terms of Battle of Manzikert 1071. We don't know the significance of the events we're living through, but the future generations will. And this blessing of Allah is something that if you as a Muslim did not bow down to Allah and thank Allah, there's something wrong with you. Because this was certainly significant. So Jazakallah khair for watching. And inshallah, we look forward to the comments below and make dua for the Syrian people. This is what we can do.